Hey, Boogie, Dave Cloninger with the Post and Courier here. Good to see you again. Two questions. First, how are you feeling? And two, if you could you just kind of take us through the injuries last year and really what kept you from getting on?
Yes, sir. I'm feeling great, back at 100, 105, I say. But yeah, I just started out the year, pretty good camp. Came in the summer, had great summer, good camp. And just off field injury, was running, just trying to, I love to run, trying to get a little conditioning in. And messed up my ankle. And so that set me back. Took me all the way out until bye week. Bye week came. I was getting right back from the injury. In Texas A&M week after that, played just a little bit that game, and then after Texas A&M week, just doing a little 6-on-4. People got rolled up on other ankle. Got injured there too, and just took me out until till about the week of the last game.
Lou Bijak?
Alex, what'd you learn? I mean, the injuries and that, what did it teach you, and what were you able to take away when you weren't on the field last year, and how much motivation getting back and being healthy and contributing this year?
Yeah, I see it as a blessing and a curse because, it was a curse obviously just because getting injured is, it's not a fun thing at all. It sets you back a little bit and it just, messes you up mentally and physically. But I see it as a blessing because I'm not gonna say I needed that, but it helped me so much. I was able to learn. It showed me how much I love the game, how much I needed the game, and it just showed me that now it kind of gave me a little chip. Just I was out last year. I had plans last year, couldn't do it, and so now it's just making me work harder.
Colin Taylor?
Alex, you're one of the few guys on this roster that knew Coach Beamer from the recruiting side of things. Now that he's here, what's it like, and what's he like on the recruiting show that you remember?
Yeah, I loved Coach Beamer ever since I first met him. I always had a connection with him. And so during the recruiting process, it was great. Oklahoma was one of my last couple of schools that I was considering, and he was a part of that. He was one of my big recruiters there. And now that he's here, it's still the same. I still think he's a great coach, great person. He hasn't changed at all. He's a genuine guy, so it's been good.
What's that personality like from him in recruiting, and is it the same once he's on campus and he's coaching you?
But no, I haven't really noticed a change. Like I said, he's been pretty genuine. He's an honest guy. He brings energy, and he knows when to work, when to have fun. He's a good dude, good coach for sure.
Mike Yuba?
Hey, Alex, and I know Coach Kimray's in the other room. I know he's on the offensive side. I know you guys always have your division between offense and defense, but what has that been like to be able to have your old high school coach there, number one, but number two, what do you think he can bring to this program, not just as a coach, but as a person?
Yeah, Coach Kimray, that is my guy. It's been great having him here. I wasn't with him last year. He was still at Hammond, but it's been great. I've loved it. Seeing him at practice, just it's sometimes a little funny, just because like I was your high school coach and now he's your college coach. But yeah, he's someone who I think he can bring a lot more besides just football knowledge. But he knows a lot about culture, leadership, and so that's a lot of things that he put into me while I was in high school. And so I think he can bring a lot of that here.
And I don't know if that had any impact on your decision to stay. I mean, was there any thought in your head that said maybe I'm not going to be wearing, the garnet and black next season?
No, there was never that thought. When I committed here more than, football or something like that. I love the school. I love South Carolina. I live here. I love this place. And so my attitude was just, it was a setback, but it's nothing you can't work through.
Joe Machika?
Hey, Alex, kind of just touching on a little bit of what Mike said. What's it like playing in your hometown and playing in South Carolina and growing up in Columbia?
Yeah, it's great. I can't say it's great. Just every time I see Willie B, it's always just this great feeling, just driving by it, just knowing that because I've seen it at max capacity. We didn't have it last year, but I've seen it. I've seen how the city gets and how everybody backs it, and I love it. So it's been great.
Also, one more question. Where did the nickname Boogie come from?
Yeah, when I was a kid, I used to crawl really fast, and my brother was like, "Look at him, Boogie." And so started playing football when I was 4, and my mom, I'll just go out there, and my mom would just say, "Go Boogie," and that's just how it started.
John Dell?
Boogie, what's it been like working with Coach Lindsay? What have you learned about him as a coach and the way he's trying to teach you guys this spring?
Nah, it's been great. I've learned so much technique, and that's one of the things I've really been happy about is technique and teaching me a lot of pass rushing moves that I've been trying to learn for a couple of years. And so he's really getting to fine tune it and really show me step by step how to do these things. So it's been really good.
And who have you kind of gravitated towards in that room over the last year and a half? What older player?
Um, we really have all the older players. I like to talk to each and everyone, get close with all of them because they're doing and they've done what I'm trying to do. They've played, they've had their games, they're veterans. So I try and really get close to all of them and pick their brain, ask for advice, stuff like that, because each one of them has something different that they can teach me and help me with.
Thank you.
Sean Muldooney.
Hey, Boogie, you obviously played alongside Jordan for a few years in high school, but when you're sideline last year and getting to watch him, what did you see from him? Just how he grew throughout the year and how he kind of has improved since high school?
Yeah, I mean, I have seen Jordan. It's been kind of funny. I've been with him since sophomore year, and so every year see him improve, and Jordan is gonna be like it has been in high school. He has so much potential, and he keeps getting towards it every year. He keeps growing and getting better, and so it's cool to watch.
David Cloninger.
Boogie, what have been your impressions so far of Keem Green? He's kind of a newcomer coming in around January and played in Nebraska. What has he shown out there so far?
Yeah, Keem, I love that dude. He's a great dude, funny guy, and he's also great on the field too. He's coming from Nebraska, and so he definitely has some experience, strong guy. Knows what to do. So he's been pretty good.
Colin Taylor.
Well, I think Coach White's talked about this being a aggressive defense, and guys have come in saying the same thing. I'm curious, what are your impressions of it so far, and what does an aggressive defense look like from a defensive tackle spot?
Yeah, I mean, I love the defense. I love it a lot. People have been saying, it is aggressive defense, but an aggressive defense isn't just blitzing every play and sending people every play. It's kind of the mentality. We've been talking about a lot of things, loose change, ball on the ground, no matter what happens, pick it up and run. It can be a dead ball, but it's just a mentality you got to have to get the ball, because at the end of the day, that's how you win the game, is turnovers, getting the ball, and just playing, with a chip on your shoulder, just mad, just being aggressive.
Lou Bijak.
Boogie, when you were going through that last year with the injuries and that, did you someone that kind of you leaned on during that time, maybe kind of helped you through it, or any advice that they were able to give you during those few months that you were out?
Yeah, I mean, there were so many people, who I could always go to. I mean, obviously my parents. Whenever I, have issue, and I just always talk to them, and they're always people who can help me. And my old coaches too were always people I knew I could always talk to, and ask them questions, because both of them, Coach Kimray, who's here now, and then Coach Barnes, who is there coaching at Hammond in the 80 there too. They play college football. They know a good little bit, so I could always talk to them as well. And it's just one thing that they taught me, and that I really learned last year through experience, is just hard times are gonna come, and it's how you get up from that. It's how you react is what's gonna make you the person you are. And so that's just how I've been trying to live.